Hello there, gamers and mental health enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking study that explores the intersection of scholarly gaming and mental health education, and how it can impact the self-esteem of adolescents. Picture this: a world where scholarly gaming isn't just about mastering technology-based career skills or dominating the world of video game business. No, it's a world where gaming becomes a gateway to improving mental health. 3 visionary educators and a school-based health intervention expert came together to create a curriculum that aligns with academic guidelines from the International Society for Technology Education. This curriculum spans 40 lessons, delivered over 14 weeks with a minimum of 120 minutes per week. But here's the twist: 83 schools were invited to participate, but they were divided into 2 groups, those with mental health moments and those without. The non-mental health moment group got the scholarly gaming curriculum alone, while the mental health moment group got an extra layer of education. Mental health moments were embedded into 27 lessons, integrating concepts from the PERMA framework and the collaborative academic, social, and emotional learning standards, otherwise known as CASEL. Now, let's meet our players. 471 participants from both groups, with almost 75% in high school, many experiencing scholarly gaming for the first time. A majority were male, and the racial diversity was broad. At the start, the average self-esteem score was 17.9, with 22.1% reporting low self-esteem. But hold on, the game's just beginning. As the study progressed, it revealed some fascinating results. While 57.7% of participants with low self-esteem at the beginning reported average self-esteem post-intervention, the mental health moments group stole the spotlight. Self-esteem scores improved by 8.3% in the mental health moments group, compared to no change in the non-mental health moments group. How's that for a power-up? Some students even shifted from abnormally low self-esteem scores to normal ranges. The message is loud and clear. Educators, healthcare providers, and adolescent advocates pay attention. Non-traditional educational instructions, like scholarly gaming, combined with mental health moments, can significantly improve students' well-being. And there you have it, a journey through the power of scholarly gaming and mental health moments. Remember, your self-esteem matters, and sometimes, all it takes is a little extra support to level up. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep gaming, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Welcome to HSEL Nationals 2024, presented by Oakley. HSEL Nationals is coming to Midwest Fest June 7 through 9, and you can grab tickets right now. Here's just a sample of what you can expect by attending. 1, the best high school esports student athletes in the nation battling it out over 3 days to see who becomes the undisputed national champion. 2, an Apex Legends tournament featuring the best schools from HSEL and anyone brave enough to stand against them. 3, Supernova Retro Arcade. 4, dance your heart out and feel the rhythm, because Casey Bemini is bringing your favorite rhythm games here to Midwest Fest. And last but not least, giveaways. Just by attending Midwest Fest, you'll be entered into one of HCL National's numerous giveaways. And you can increase your entries by completing various objectives around the festival. All of these things and so much more are what you can expect by attending HCL Nationals at Midwest Fest. It all goes down June 7th through the 9th, live in Kansas City. Join us and see for yourself who will lift the trident.
All right, welcome, hello, and welcome. So many people in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Bubba Gatter, and you have arrived. You have arrived at the HSEL Nationals 2024 Group Selection Show. If you are in the chat, please put a 1 in the chat if you are here. We're excited to reveal some groups today about a couple different game titles that we're doing. We're going to start off with Brawlhalla, then Smash Brothers, then Rocket League, and then Valorant. And those are the 4 game titles that'll be played this weekend. That's right, this weekend in Kansas City at the Hy-Vee Arena with Level Up Arena and through the Midwest Fest event. Super excited because this is the group selection show that tells you teams and you players where you're going to be competing and who you're going to be competing against. And this group selection show is brought to you by Intel. Thank you so much, Intel, for sponsoring HSEL. And if you guys don't know what HSEL is the High School Esports League, founded in 2012. Over 500,000 students competing over many, many years. Lots and lots of schools. If you don't have high school esports in your school and you want it, just type in HSEL in the chat and we'll give you a link to the high school esports league. If you're also in middle school, you can type in MSEL. That's for the middle school esports league. If you want that, we'll put the link in the chat for the high school esports league and the middle school esports league. And if you're excited about doing other games, there's also the Youth Winter Circle potentially going on for other students in other games. But if you're excited about learning the groups and who's going to be playing, I need in the chat a bunch of, actually, if you are over the age of 20, you would call, over the age of 30, you would call this a pound sign. If you are under the age of 30, please put a hashtag in the chat. Let's see if you guys can complete that. They're two different things. Okay, so David Stone, he is a boomer. He definitely used a pound sign. Let's see if anybody wants to use a hashtag. Let's see if the test works. Okay, so some younger, Elijah, he's definitely a boomer. He used a pound sign. Okay, Michael Watson, other boomer. Neil, big boomer. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to bring in our amazing host. You may know them from the High School Esports League, Generation Esports, and with David being the commissioner of competition and Alex, marketing manager. I want to bring them in right now as they are going to reveal some amazing groups to us. How are you guys?
I'm great.
How you doing, Bubba?
I'm super excited. We've been planning for this for a while. Everybody's putting hashtags or pounds in the chat, and I got to see the back end of what the groups are, and I don't know anything about these teams, but I'm excited to go and learn some more. And you guys have a little bit of information about those teams. Is that right?
Yeah, we do. So first of all, we're super excited to kick this off. And we want to take about 1 minute maybe to go over the format, just so everybody knows kind of exactly, here's the group stage, but, I play these teams, what comes after that? So we're going to go over that for a little bit. So this weekend, all 4 titles, Brawlhalla, Super Smash Brothers, Rocket League, Valorant, they will begin with a round robin. So that's what we're going to be revealing here, the groups, and then advance into a single elim bracket. So for Brawlhalla and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, we have 2 groups of 6, with the top 4 in each group advancing out into that single elim bracket. Now, Rocket League and Valorant have true groups of 4, and they're all just playing for seeding in the group stage as everybody makes it out of the bracket towards the end of day 2. But that's enough preamble. We are going to kick it over to Alex, starting with Brawlhalla, to introduce the players in our red group. Alex.
Thanks, David. It's good to be here. Now, we're going to here to talk about some Brawlhalla. We've got the red group coming up first, and we have some heavy hitters. First off, we've got Zebra Pet coming out of Somerville High School in South Carolina. Zebra Pet qualified in spring 2024 in the Premier Atlantic division as the champion. Now, Zebra Pet went undefeated in the spring Premier regular season and playoffs, so we expect big things from them and a stunning performance here at Nationals 2024. After Zebra Pet, we have Dank Diego coming out of Palmdale High School in California. Dank Diego finished the spring 2024 season in HSEL's Premier Pacific Division with a top 3 finish, falling only to Zasif and Jay Costa. Now, in the past season, they finished their past season in the Spring Premier with a score of 4-1 and finished at the top of their group. After that, we have Axion from Twin Cities Academy, coming from the great state of Minnesota. Axion qualified by participating in HSEL Premier's Atlantic Division this spring with a top 4 finish. Axion also finished second in the regular season group behind Zebra Pet, managing to make a lower bracket run after losing round 1. After which we have Spirit from Soar High School in California. Spirit won the 2024 wild card, and in this past season, they placed second in the Spring Premier regular season, losing in playoffs to Dank Diego and their schoolmate, Cade. Good job, Cade. Next up, we have Kaboom from Providence Day School out of North Carolina. Kaboom qualified via the Spring 2024 wildcard, and they did have a slow start to their premier season, but managed to grab the fourth and last spot from their group to make the playoffs, finishing in top 6. Rounding out the red group, we have, last but not least, Jake Costa from Middle College High School. Guess they all sounded good. Out of California. Now, they qualified in spring 2024 in the Premier League in the Pacific region as the runner-up, losing 4-0 to Zasif, but they also finished the Premier regular season third in their group, but caught fire in playoffs, making a solid lower bracket run. So we're expecting big things out of Jay Costa and everyone in this whole red side of things. But David, why don't you take us over to the gold group and let us know what the talent is looking like on that side?
Well, it's pretty darn good. I'll just start with that. So our first participant in the gold group is going to be Father Oreo from Providence Day School. I got to say, Providence Day has some pretty good gamer tags. Maybe that affects their in-game performance. Who knows? Providence Day School out of North Carolina. They finished the Spring 24 Premier in the Atlantic Division as a top 3 finalist. And in the past season, they finished actually the Premier regular season third in their group, and they made it all the way to the upper finals before falling to Zebra Pet in those upper finals, and then Elixin in the lower finals. Speaking of Elixin, that is our next participant in Gold Group, so we will definitely have a rematch of those lower finals. Elixin's coming from Commerce High School out of Georgia. They were the Spring 24 Premier Atlantic Division runner-up. They finished the regular season second in their group, and their only losses in playoffs were to the same player, to Somerville's Zebra Pet, 4-1 in the upper semis and 4-2 in grand finals. So we're going to see if both of these players make it out. If they match up in the bracket, we're going to see if Elixin can get that sweet revenge on land in Kansas City. And next, we have a repeat qualifier from last year's HCL Nationals. That's Zaziv from Lancaster High School out in California. They were the Spring Premier Pacific champion. They had a perfect season. They went undefeated in the group stage regular season. They went undefeated in playoffs, and they didn't drop a single set. They might be the tournament favorite. Maybe they're looking to actually really lift that trident, grab that title. They came so close last year. Maybe this is the year that they do it. All right, next up we have Cade out of Soar High School, also California. They finished top 4 in the Spring Premier in the Pacific Division. And the regular season, they finished second in their group. And right now, they're looking for revenge against Dank Diego and Jay Costa. Those are the players who handed them their playoff losses. Now, they still managed to qualify for nationals, but, we need some revenge arcs here. So, Dank Diego and Jay Costa, Kay's going to be coming for you. And we have 2 more players to go over for Brawlhalla. One of those 2 is Ritzy coming out of Hebron High School, Texas. They qualified through the Spring 24 wildcard, the very last chance that they had to qualify for nationals. Now, they had an uncharacteristically tough season. They didn't actually end up making playoffs, but remember, all premier players are eligible for the wildcard, regardless of if they make playoffs or not. So they caught fire at the right time, and they managed to snag that nationals qualification spot and punch their ticket through the wildcard. And last but not least, we have Rain from Odeya High School out of Washington. They also qualified through the spring wildcard, but in a pretty amazing way. So get this, they won the West region, not in the spring premier, but in the spring major. And by winning that West region, they received a promotional opportunity to the wildcard, and they punched up and punched their ticket to Kansas City. And just to show you that they're the real deal, they went undefeated in the regular season in the spring major, and they didn't drop a single set. So they're here to prove that they can indeed hang with the best of the best. So those are our players for Brawlhalla. Now we're going to move on to Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, starting with the red group. Alex, who do we got?
Oh, just yet another great group of folks over here on the red side of things for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate by Nintendo. First off, we've got Luma Rob for bringing up the very start here of a red group from Christian Brothers College High School out of Missouri, a little bit close to home. Now, this player qualified as the Fall Major 2023 champion. And this past season, Lumarob won back-to-back fall and spring major championships in the Central region, only losing one match the entire season between both seasons. Now, that is quite impressive. After that, we have Superberry out of Edmond Memorial High School out of Oklahoma. Superberry qualified in the Fall Major 2023 Atlantic Division by finishing in top 3. Past season, Superberry fell in the Fall Major 2023 semifinals to Luma Rob 4-0. They're looking to get some revenge here at Kansas City. We've got a lot of ongoing rivalries in all of these games, so it's going to be quite exciting. After that, we've got Mirage out of Oakwood High School in California. Now, Mirage finished as the Fall Major West Region runner-up, and the past season, Mirage went undefeated in the Fall Major regular season, only dropping one set until they fell 4-1 to Harriman High's Oki in a nail-biting 7-game finals. So, next up, we have Tadpole out of Washingtonville High from New York, the Spring Major East Region runner-up, and Tadpole went 5-1 in the Spring Major regular season, but fell 4-1 in the Spring Finals to Holy Ghost Prep's Summer House. Next up, we have Bargain from Tyler Legacy High from Texas. They qualified in the Spring Major Central Region top 3. And Bargain also finished the regular season 4-2, giving Lumarob a run for their money in the semifinals, but ultimately did fall in Game 7. They did go on to sweep their third-place finals match, though, so obviously the competition is very stiff. Gabbern is the final person out of the red group from El Diamante High School in California. They qualified in the Spring Major as the West Region's runner-up. Gabbard went 5-1 in the Spring regular season and knocked out the #1 season in the Spring quarterfinals. Swept Cats and Bacon from Cajon High in the semis, and they fell to Harriman High's Oki 4-3 in the 7-game series final. So we've got a good group over here on the red side for Super Smash Brothers. But David, tell us a little bit more about the gold. Go ahead.
Well, speaking of Oki, that is going to be our first participant in the gold group. Oki out of Harriman High in Utah. How did they get here? Well, they punched their ticket back in the Fall Major, claiming that West Region Championship. But as Alex maybe alluded to, they are back-to-back Fall and Spring champions, really cementing their spot as maybe the best in the West. And maybe the iciest Smash player that we have here. Both finals victories in Fall and Spring went the full 7 games, with Oki, of course, taking that final set. Oki is also a finalist for the HSEL MVP, the winner of which will be revealed Sunday, June 9th. So make sure you're watching to see who wins that. Moving on, we have Marsh Arcana from Monsignor Edward Pace High. They are out of Florida, and Marsh Arcana was the Fall Major 2023 runner-up. Lumarob from CBC High is definitely their final boss, as throughout the rest of the season, Marsh Arcana did not drop a single set against any other opponent until they hit Lumarob. So we might have a grudge match on our hands once we get to the bracket. We'll have to see. Following that is going to be Todd, or TOD, from Natrona County High out in Wyoming. Mountain Region represent. They are the Fall Major West Region 3rd place finalist. Now, in the past, they fell to Oki. Maybe there's a pattern here. In the semis, 4-0, but they did win their 3rd place finals match in 7 games to cement their spot in nationals. Now, they entered playoffs as the 16 seed out of 64, following a 5-1 regular season. So if that doesn't tell you how stiff the competition is at the top for Super Smash Brothers, I don't know what else will. These players are all just really good. We have 3 more players to reveal here. So we're gonna go with Summer House out of Holy Ghost Prep in Pennsylvania. They are the Spring Major East Region champion. They won the whole thing. They had an undefeated spring season, and they won 90% of their sets. That's pretty dominant if you ask me. Next up is Crackshot out of Lumberton High, Texas. They were the Spring Major Central Region runner-up. Now, in the regular season, they went undefeated. They won 95% of their sets. They only dropped one set through the first 3 rounds of playoffs. And then, maybe some people can guess it here, they fell 4-2 in the finals to our maybe final boss, or one of 2 final bosses, Luma Rob out of CBC. And our final player in the gold group for Super Smash Bros., Cats and Bacon out of Cajon High, California. They were a Spring Major top 4, but since Oki won back-to-back, Cats and Bacon got the invite up to fill in that spring spot. Now again, they had a 5-1 regular season. They finished top 5 in the West. So again, no joke, no pushover. They're here to compete. They did end up falling 4-0 to Gabern from El Diamante in the semis. So again, we have tons of teams here that are looking to either say that, no, this win was no fluke, or in Cats and Bacon's case, your win was a fluke. It's my turn to get revenge on you. That does it for Super Smash Brothers. We are moving on to Rocket League, my personal favorite, but I'm going to kick it over to Alex again to introduce our red group.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Okay, so Rocket League. The red group are starting off strong, returning to the stage from previous years' HSEL Nationals. We have the great and powerful Putnam Science Academy out of Connecticut. They qualified in the fall premiere as the Atlantic champions. Putnam was the 2023 national runner-up and went 5-0 in the regular season with a 90% game win percentage and a plus 48 goal differential. They did manage to get revenge on the defending champions, Divine Child, in the upper finals, who I believe were remote last year in their finals matchup. So it should be pretty interesting this year. After that, we have the TEC Connections Academy out of Massachusetts. They were the fall wildcard winner. And the past season, TEC Connections Academy finished 4-1 in the spring season, only losing to Westwood Regional, our spring champions, and eventually fell to Divine Child and Prosper in playoffs. So the team is looking strong, assuming they made the adjustments for these 2 powerhouses. Next up, we have the Divine Child High School out of Michigan. They qualified in the spring premier top 3 and were invited up due to Prosper achieving second in fall and spring. Now, the past season performance, these defending champions defeated Putnam Science Academy 4-1 in 2023. But how will these 2 fare in this year's rematch? Only time will tell. Their best results in fall and spring were a top 3 finish. And fun fact, they have 2 players, You Got 'Em and Opbomb, who signed to play Rocket League at Michigan State next fall. So, hooray for education. Next up, we have Franklin High from California. This team finished as the runner-up in the Pacific Premier Division, receiving the spring spot due to Washington Connections winning back-to-back fall and spring seasons. Now, this past season, Franklin High knocked out the fall season runner-up Wilsonville 4-1 in the spring lower finals, and they took Washington Connections to 7 games in grand finals. But will they be able to overcome their rivals here at Nationals 2024? I guess time will only tell, David. I don't know. Now tell me about the gold group.
Well, the gold group, I might just come out and say it. I think this might be the tournament group of death. So I apologize to all the teams in here. You're going to have fun, though. First team is going to be Prosper out of Texas. We talked about them a little bit when talking about some of the other teams and their matchups. They were the fall premier Atlantic runner-up. That's how they punched their ticket. I want to briefly talk about an awesome story here. So in the lower finals of the fall premier playoffs, it's Prosper and defending national champions Divine Child. Divine Child goes up 3-0 in a best of 7 series. And Prosper says, you know what? We're just going to win 4 in a row. Easy peasy. So not only did they do that, knocking Divine Child out of the bracket, that's how they punched their ticket to nationals. I can't think of a better way to do it or a more hype way to do it. That's just content, to be honest. They have finished top 2 in both fall and spring seasons. They lost to Putnam in the fall and Westwood in a nail-biter 4-3 series in the spring. Now, the captain of the team, who led them through that reverse sweep, Isaiah Snapalicious Spangler. They are one of 5 HSEL MVP finalists. So we're going to see if Snapalicious can really step up to the plate here on LAN. And there's only one spot above top 2, so they're obviously shooting for that one. But moving on, we have Washington Connections Academy out of, you guessed it, California. I'm kidding. It's Washington. They were Fall Premier Pacific champions and Spring Premier Pacific champions. So they're back-to-back. They are going for the back-to-back-to-back title grab. Check this out. They had 7-game series in both grand finals. So similar to other players like in Smash, they got ice. They know how to win on Champions Field. They have had dominant regular seasons, averaging a plus 50 goal differential over the entire school year. I don't even know how you do that. They could be considered the tournament favorite, although I think a few teams might have something to say about that. But this is just going off the sheer dominance in their region. And another fun fact, Maxwell Kendall is one of 5 HSEL MVP finalists. So again, tune in on Sunday to see who wins that award. 2 more teams remaining. One coming from New Jersey, Westwood Regional High, the Cardinals, the Spring Premier Atlantic champions. Now they are a repeat qualifier. So last year in the 2023 HSEL Nationals, they finished about top 6. So I don't think they're happy with that, just judging by the way they came into spring and absolutely dominated. I mean, they are winning state titles. They just won Garden State Esports state title about a month ago, and they're looking to take it even further on the national stage. They never dropped to the lower bracket in all of spring playoffs, and half of their playoff matches went a full 7 games. So what does that mean? That means not only do they know how to win, but they know how to win against adversity. So even if you're taking games off of them, it is never over. Our last team, coming out of Iowa, Cedar Falls, the spring wild card winner. They were so close for the entire year, and on their last chance during the spring wild card, they finally punched their ticket. So I'm sure the players are all super hype about that. They went 4-1 in the spring season. They had a plus 32 goal differential, and they were knocked out early in the playoffs. They were knocked out lower round 1. But Rocket League is a game where it's day to day. They caught fire at the right time. They won the spring wildcard last chance qualifier, and now they're coming to Kansas City here to play. So we've gone through 3 games. We've gone through all these groups. We have 1 more game and 2 more groups to reveal. Alex, let's reveal our Valorant Red Group.
Oh yes, very exciting stuff here. Now, the Valorant Red side of things, we're bringing up the very front end of the team groups here. We have who David has commonly referred to as the Darlings of Dallas, which is very interesting. They're from Carrollton. But we've got Hebron High School out of Texas. They qualified via the Fall Premier Atlantic Championship. And the past season performance, Hebron has been dominating their region with an undefeated season and plus 83 round differential. Wow, ain't that something? And a 100% map win percentage in the regular season, only dropping a single map all season to the AESHS Patriots in the fall grand finals. In last year's HSEL Nationals, they finished top 3 behind Redlands and St. John Bosco, and they're looking to get a little revenge coming into Nationals this year. And fun fact, head coach Jaden Gorham is a finalist for the HSEL Coach of the Year award. Wow, ain't that something? Nice job, Jaden. Keep it up. And next up, we've got Redlands High School out of California. They qualified via the Fall Wildcard. Now, this past season, they had a good fall group stage with wins over the defending national champions St. John Bosco during the regular season. However, they ended up falling 2-0 to Bosco in the grand finals, and last year's HSEL Nationals, Redlands took second, falling to, and I'm beginning to sense a pattern here, to St. John Bosco. But can the Terriers finally overcome their bracket rival? I'm excited to see, and it's going to be a great time here at Nationals. Also, fun fact, star player Chase Rascal Hackle, I believe, Hackle? I don't know. I'm doing my best. Is the finalist for the HSEL MVP award. Ain't that something? Next up, we've got Plano West out of Texas. This team qualified in the Spring Premier Atlantic Division as the runners-up, and their past season performance looks like a 4-1 regular season with a plus 27 round differential. Now, Plano did not drop did not drop a map in the spring playoffs until the upper finals, where they beat St. Louis University High 2-1, and only to fall in the grand finals to the same team 0-2. Also, ain't this neat? One of their players, Andrew O, is a finalist for the HSEL MVP award. So we've got, a lot of talent here on this side of the bracket. But last but not least, we have Mira Mesa High School out of California. This team qualified by the spring premiere as the Pacific champions. Now, their past season performance looks like, let's see, this past season has been a bit difficult, ending the season 3-2, but they've turned it into high gear for the playoffs. They knocked out Redlands, lost to Arcadia, but ultimately got their revenge against Arcadia in the grand finals. So the red side is looking pretty healthy. So we'll take it over to the gold side now with David. Go ahead, David.
All right, we got our last 4 teams to reveal here for Nationals. If you've been keeping up, you can probably guess who they are, but we're going to do it anyways for the sake of sheer hype and to give these teams a proper entrance that they deserve. So starting off, St. Louis University High, otherwise known as SLU, out of Missouri. They are the Spring Premier Atlantic champions for Valorant. They finished second in their group with a 4-1 record. They came into spring playoffs as the 6th seed, so right in the middle of that 12-team double elim bracket. They made it all the way to the upper finals, fell 2-1 to Plano West. But as Alex alluded to from the red group descriptions, they ended up getting their rematch after beating Hebron Black 2-0 in the lower finals, and then 2-0 Plano West in the grand finals, punching their ticket. And the second team is none other than our Valorant HSEL 2023 national champions, St. John Bosco. Not only are they defending national champions, but they won the Fall Premier Pacific Championship. In the past, they finished second in their region in the regular season for the fall, and they lost round 1 in the playoffs, but then they made the lower bracket run, eventually meeting Redlands in a at HSEL Nationals 23 Grand Finals rematch, where the outcome did remain the same and Bosco took that title. It would not be a hot take to say that they are the tournament favorite, but again, I know there's a lot of teams who might disagree with me, but we're just gonna have to see what happens come Friday. 2 more schools for you. Next, the AESHS Patriots out of Illinois. They are the Fall Premier Atlantic runner-up. They were the number 2 seed going into playoffs. They fell 2-0 to Novi out of Michigan in upper round 2, but then they made a lower bracket run, and they got the W, a revenge W, 2-1 in a lower finals, and then they ended up giving Hebron Varsity their only map loss all season in the grand final. So if there's anyone from that Atlantic region that has been able to hang with Hebron Varsity, it is the Patriots. So let's see if they can even step it up further and take that W against them. Last but not least, and you may say, well, we've seen this name before, and that's because you have, but I guess they just have so many good players. It is Hebron High Black roster. So they're out of Texas. How did they get here? Well, if Hebron High qualified through winning the Fall Premier, we have a lot of other entry points, as you may have noticed, for how to get to Nationals. Hebron Black qualified during the Spring Wildcard. They were in Spring Premier. They finished second in their group at a 4-1 record, plus 18 round differential. They did fall to Plano West in upper round 1. And then they won 4 lower bracket rounds in a row, not dropping a single map along the way before running into St. Louis University High in the lower finals, falling 2-0. So they know how to play when it's on the line. They will have the chance to get revenge on SLU in this group stage. So that is going to be a match that we're looking out for big time. And that does it. Those are our groups for HSEL Nationals 2024, live in Kansas City, live at Midwest Fest. I'm super excited. We've been talking forever though, so we're going to send it over to Bubba.
Guys, what I want to ask you, and everybody's in chat, there's a lot of hype in chat about what teams are going to win, and I know you can't pick favorites, so what teams are you both most excited about watching this weekend? Maybe in every game title, what do you think? And in the chat as well, who do you think is going to take the Trident on Sundays? Go ahead and put your answers in the chat. What are you guys looking for? Who are you looking forward to watching?
Well,
Man.
truthfully, I'm just excited to see the entire Smash bracket because we didn't have it at Nationals last year. So this is gonna be super exciting. Fighting game tournaments go insane. So yeah, the live atmosphere will definitely be something to enjoy. But in terms of like team games, I definitely want to see the run back between Bosco and the Terriers from Redlands. It went on quite a while last year, and it was a super tense grand finals, and we had a blast. So it's gonna be super fun, and hopefully we just get some good matches. But those are probably my top teams to see.
All right, I'll say I'm not afraid. Okay, Brawlhalla. I'm looking at Zebra Pet out of Somerville. I mean, they were just so dominant in Fall Major and in Spring Premiere. Not to say that no one else can do it, but that's kind of like if I'm like an analyst, I'm looking at Zebra Pet. Smash. I have to pick two. That's cheating. I'm looking at Luma Rob and Oki. I'm looking at East versus West. I want to see that battle at some point. I know we're in separate groups, so they got to make it out of the bracket first, and they got to win matches. But I really want to see that. That's going to be hype. Rocket League. I know I can't say everybody. I think I'm looking at Westwood. They qualified last year. I know they probably didn't have the performance that they really wanted to have or knew that they could do. So now in spring, I mean, they've just been bringing it. So I think they could bring it again this weekend. And Valorant. Valorant is the hardest one for me because I want to say either St. Louis University High or Hebron or Redlands. I think you can pick any one of those three. I think we know what St. John Bosco can do. We know they're going to be good. We know they're going to come out and just kind of with the confidence that, hey, we're the best. We're the defending national champions. So I'm looking at these other teams that either have faced them in the past or the newcomers like with SLU to say, yeah, your time at the top is done. It's our time now, either for Redlands or Hebron or SLU or any of these teams. I think they're all looking at Bosco saying, maybe you're not as good as you think you are. And maybe we're just that much better.
They're pretty good, dog. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty good. I'm just saying.
They are pretty good.
I'm not biased or nothing.
Well, and the interesting thing is you guys get to see all of the results in the matches because it's your platform and you're able to hear the conversation in the Discord as well. I do want to touch on the event surrounding the HSEL Nationals 2024, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. It's the Midwest Fest, and the Midwest Fest, if you have family that's coming to watch you compete, I believe tickets are free for players and coaches. And then if you are a fan or a spectator, please go get tickets at midwestfest.com. Midwestfest 24, I believe it was. I can't read it now. But it's in the chat. And can you tell me a little bit about what Midwest Fest is and why would we be excited to participate in that event as well when maybe they're not playing or competing at HSEL National?
Yeah. Okay. Bear with me here. Imagine like more than 10 basketball courts in an arena. Mm-hmm. Now imagine that arena filled not just with an HSEL National stage and spectator seating and other pool play stations, but imagine behind that stage you have rows and rows of vendors and side stages with open brackets and panels and content creators doing Q&As and photo ops. Imagine a green carpet. Yes, it is like what you're thinking, like a red carpet, but it's green. Imagine all of that. Imagine what you would expect at any of these other gaming conventions, but in the Midwest. That's what is happening at Midwest Fest. It's going to be an absolute blast. Players, don't get distracted. You have matches to play. Have fun though, maybe in between. But anyone who's coming to spectate, there is so much for you to do.
I love it. I think I'm going to try and pull up the website here and see if we can take a look, because it is, you did describe the large space as being 5 basketball courts, 10 basketball courts, and we're using it all. So there's a lot of really cool content creators and vendors coming out. There's a big event. Yes, the kick green carpet is be pretty cool. But if you need to get tickets, you can go right here on tickets, and you can check those out. There are different ticket prices and styles for general admission, creator badge if you're a content creator, staff, VIP. I did just hear kind of in my ear that there may be potential to show off something if people are stuck around. I did get a clear from someone to show a certain image, and I can show it. If anybody would anyone
what is it?
Would anyone in the chat want to see the jerseys for HSEL National? And if you're in the chat and you want to see what the HSEL National jerseys are that you can purchase through our partners Raven.gg, right? Please let's hear it in the chat. I do need the image if someone can send that to me, David, in there, because I don't have it, because I haven't even seen it yet. So I don't think I have, but it did get approved to show off, and this will be our final thing we're doing tonight if we could see it. So if you got to see the selection show that just went on, we did review all the game titles: Brawlhalla, Super Smash, Rocket League, and Valorant. And we had red group and gold group in each. If you guys, it was fun listening because David, you at one point started doing a little bit of a broadcaster or a news story kind of voice, and I think we're all just trying to keep up with Alex. And his amazing voice. If you like Alex's voice, you think it's pretty cool and he does an amazing job, put a 1 in the chat. And hopefully, is there an image I can see? Can you DM that to me?
We're working on it.
Well, thank
Okay.
you, Bubba. Listen, I'm just trying to have a very wonderful day sponsored by Oakley and Intel. You know what I mean? It's just, it is what I do, you know? Try to keep it positive. What can I say?
If there's anybody in the chat what do you guys want to do the most while at the Midwest Fest and the HSEL Nationals? For those who are coming this week, are you excited about different things? There's vendors. There is also an Apex tournament going on, correct? That students are coming from all over the country. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we have 3 different high schools from our Apex seasons that are competing in the Midwest Fest Apex tournament. Midwest Fest was kind enough to reserve some spots in their bracket. So those schools, actually, it's Lancaster High School. We mentioned them earlier. Zaziv from Lancaster coming from Brawlhalla.
Mm-hmm.
So their Apex team's going to be here. QI Roberts Senior High. They just won the Halo National Championships last night on Sunday. Their Apex team's going to be here. And then we have another familiar school, Soar High School. Their Apex team's going to be here. So these schools they're not just, what was it called? One-trick ponies. They're pretty good at a lot of different stuff. So really excited that Midwest Fest was able to grant that opportunity. Just more opportunities for students is just fantastic.
Okay, I got the jersey. I'm ready to show it. Is anybody excited? Probably not.
I need a drum roll.
Here is the HSEL Nationals 2024, sponsored by Oakley. This jersey has a really cool look. I'm wearing an older jersey, HSEL one. Look at that. It's got my name on it. It's got my name in the back. But let's go ahead and check out this one and see if anybody likes it. Boom! HSEL Nationals right there. Got a Raven logo, Intel, Generation Esports. I'll show you the back as well. Go ahead and put your gamer tag, your name, your gamer tag in the chat, and that is where it'll actually live on the back of your shirt if you are to get one of these amazing shirts. And yep, customized. I believe if we have, you can come to the event, you can get it customized, you ordered. If we have a link, preferably at this moment, I can drop it in the chat if anybody has that to Raven on their store for us. But the gamer tag is there. Super excited. If you are, there we go. If you are coming to the event this weekend, definitely We're excited to see you. We want you to come try the barbecue because Kansas City barbecue is the best. I've interviewed a ton of the students that have been in the chat today over the past few weeks, and their coaches, and everyone said barbecue in Kansas City is the best. No one said anything about Texas barbecue or anything like that, because if they did, I just stopped the interview. But Kansas City barbecue is the best. Any last words, guys, for the chat, for the show as we wrap up?
You know, just have an HSEL day, everyone. That's all I gotta say, really.
Hey, we've all been working really hard behind the scenes to make this happen for you guys. And so we just hope you can make it out here safely and just have an amazing 3 days. And, you know, I can't wait. Some of you I know, some of you I met last year, but I can't wait to meet all of you and just put on a fantastic, fantastic high school national championship.
Amazing. Well, appreciate you guys so much. That was a ton of fun. I'm excited to come hang out this weekend and do a bunch of stuff. We just finished this last weekend with the online nationals. Lots of champions crowned, got their trident. If you check on Twitter and other social media platforms, those will be even more announced over the next few days and with some videos. Chick-fil-A is we would love to have some Chick-fil-A in the building. I don't know, is it happening? Chick-fil-A?
It is in the building.
There is,
okay,
it is
great.
in the stadium, but they don't give you the
I'm
regular
going to say
fries,
right now,
give you
though,
the chips and
temper
the-
expectations.
Just
It's
get
not
the
free.
sandwich. Just get
It
the
is in the
sandwich.
building, though.
How does one get Chick-fil-A on Sunday at the event? Do we need to order on Saturday?
Oh,
and
I
just
don't know.
Hold it in
you'll
a
have to ask them.
warmer. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm super excited about this weekend. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. I'm Bubba Gaddert. Thank you so much. This is David Stone, Alex Acosta. Thank you all. Have an amazing week, and we'll see you this weekend at HSEL Nationals 2024. Presented by Oak. Bye.
Okay, bye, guys.
That's sweet refrain all night long and everlasting.